Hello, friends. Very good morning. We have been discussing the detailed story, or we can say a critical summary of the Playboy of the Western world for a few days. We have been doing Act Second of this play. As you know, there are three acts in this play. So we have been now doing summary third of Act Second. Summary third does not mean any any special remark for the summary, but it's for only convenience, our convenience, that this is the third part of Act Second, because we cannot fulfill all the summary of the one act or the complete act in one lecture or in one video. Therefore, this is the part third of Act Second. You know that old Mahon, who is the father of Christie, has somehow arrived at the public house in search of his own son, who has tried to murder him, who has attacked upon him. So, old Mahon is now there at the public house and he is met with Widow Queen, and Widow Queen asks so many questions in order to verify whether old Mahon was speaking true or old Mahon was really the father of Christie. As we also know that Christie has already told the people at Shibin or at the public house that he has murdered his father. But we see that there is a surprise, and surprise is that his father is not dead, but he is alive, and he appears there. So when Widow Queen asks the old Mahon about the young lad uh, with a murderous look, uh, she asks old man why he is searching for that young fellow. Why he is searching for that? So old man replies. He gives an account of Christie's murderous attack that took place previously. So old Mahon then replies that that young lad had given him a very heavy blow with a spade and had broken his head. And he then takes off his hat and shows Widow Queen that his head in a mass of bandages and plaster. That is, a plaster has been made around his head. Then Widow Queen again asks him whether it was a robber who had hit him. Who had hit him? Whether it was a robber or someone else. Then the old Mahon replies that no, there was no robber at all. It was only his own son. A dirty, stuttering idler had hit him. Then Widow Queen says it's a very hard blow which his son had given him. And she then also says that he must have provoked his son to be an extreme degree to make such a serious injury. So she she doubts and she asks the old Mahon कि he might have done something wrong or he might have provoked his young son to attack upon him. Otherwise, what would have been the reason for such an attack? So she also says that it's a shameful matter that an old man like old Mahon he should have tormented his young son. That is, he had tormented his young son. That's why such incident happened. So, in this way, old man feels enraged by Widow Queen's accusations and says that he was showing patience of a saint and that he quarreled his son, who was a fool and an idler. So, he says that his son was a fool and an idler. So, he was showing extreme patience towards him, but he did not tolerate, and then he attacked upon him. So, in this way, we see that old Mahon gives an account of his son's murderous act or murderous outlook. Then he also gives the poor opinion of his son, okay, what he thinks about his son. When Widow Queen asks him, she asks if his son never did any work. Okay, why does he hate him? Why does old man hate his son? So he says, old man says that he was not doing anything except merely making faces at himself in the mirror. That is, his son used to do nothing, and only he would make faces of himself at himself in the mirror. Then she asked whether his son is in habit of running after the girls. And old man mockingly says that his son would hide himself behind the bushes whenever any girl appeared upon the hill. So that is, his son fears of the girls, scares of the girls. And if any girl or if he sees any girl, he would hide himself behind the bushes. That is, he doesn't have much courage to come before the girls. So that was not the reason. Then she asked whether his son was fond of drinking, or then he replies that his son had a delicate stomach, that he had neither the capacity to drink nor to smoke. So there was no habit of drinking and smoking of his son. He says that his son was the butt of ridicule among the women folk of his native village, and that they used to laugh at him and call him mad son of Mahon. So he was the victim of the women of that village where they lived, native village, and these women used to ridicule him. He was the point of ridicule among those women folk, and they called him the mad son of old Mahon. So he calls him dark, dirty, ugly young black god. And in this way, he gives a detailed account about his son. Then, widow queen, anyhow, uses tricks in order to send away old Mahon from the public house. She tells the old man that she has seen such a fellow closely resembling to old Mahon and that he had gone over the hills to catch a boat in order to sail away from this place. So she says that she has seen such a young man that he is now describing, and he might have gone upon the hill in order to search for a boat, and he wanted to run away from that place. So old Mahon abruptly leaves the place in order to try to take his own son, for whom he is wandering for 10 days. And then he leaves that place. Now, Christie's deep regret over his father being still. Now, when Christie is informed that his father came there and that his father has not been murdered and he is alive, so he feels deep regret that his father is still alive, even after giving him a heavy blow of with a spade. So, Widow Queen turns to Christie and informs him that his father is alive and that he is walking playboy of the Western world, just like he is wandering here. She also mocks at his claim to have divided his father to his breeches belt. So now Christie is feeling much distress by the sudden appearance of his father, and by the realization that the story he has been telling everybody here about the murder he had committed has proved to be false, and that he would now be exposed to ridicule. So now he feels that his secrecy, or that his truth, or his we can say the false information that he gave there, now has come out. Everyone has now come to know that his father is alive, and he has spoken a lie. So now he will not be treated in that manner when he was treated in the beginning as a bald. So he doesn't know how he'll face Pizine when she comes to know his the facts. So he is now distressed that how he will face Pizine, who loves him very much. So Widow Queen tells him that Pizine would drive him away from her door because she would not now find that he's only a wonderful hero, but will think that he is only a schemer who had invented the story about the murder of his father. So she won't believe. She would think about him that he is a false, he is a liar, and he has just created this story in order to become the hero. But in fact, he is not a hero. He is not a bold one or courageous one because his father is alive, and he has invented the story, whole story false. So Christy curses his father for having disrupted his life at this place just when he was on the verge of winning Pezine as his wife. So he curses his father, ki why did he come here, and because of his appearance now he will lose Pezine, who was going to become his wife very soon, and he was there happy and appreciated and adored as well as. So Fizine, Widow Queen also tells that Fizine would have been no good as a wife, but Christie says that she is fit even to handle. So now you see, Widow Queen also makes a plan. She wants that Christie should leave Pigeon, or the Pigeon should reject Christie, and then she would become the wife of Christie. She also wants Christie. She wants that Christie should marry with her. So she is trying Christie to leave Pigeon and and accept her as his wife. So she is making futile bid to win Christie. Now she tries to get Christie as a husband for herself, and she says that she has taken a fancy to him, that she herself would look after him and serve him at her house and when he begins to live with her. So she wants him, and therefore she promises that she will do everything for him in order to please him. She also assures him that he will be perfectly safe from arrest at her house. She also assures him that there will be no problem and he will be with her. There will be no danger of his arrest. He will be completely safe at her house. But Christie cannot drive out the image of Pizine from his mind. But Christie has fallen in love with Pizine, and he cannot take out, he cannot drive out the image of Pizine from his heart, from his mind. So he says to Widow Queen that no, no, it's not possible, and he only loves Pezine, and he only marry Pezine, not with anyone else. Then he tells Widow Queen that he is interested only in Pezine, nobody else, and appeals to Widow Queen to help him in winning Pezine. And he also requests Widow Queen that she should help him in order to, or in winning the heart of Pizine. Therefore, she should not disclose the reality about him or about his father to Pizine. Otherwise, she would leave him away. So then there is an understanding between Christie and Widow Queen. So there is an understanding. For what? For what? In order to get Pizine, in order to win the heart of Pizine, Christie is making an understanding with Widow Queen. Finding that she herself has no son, Widow Queen, she also found that there is no chance that Christy can become her husband. She says that she will help him on condition. Therefore, she gives a proposal to Christy that she will help him, but on a condition that when he is married to Pezine and has become the master of this place, he would give her a right of way which she wants. So she puts a condition that she would definitely help him, but when they get married, when he gets married with Pezine, he has to help widow queen. That is, he would give her a right of way which she wants. And what is that? Christie swears that he will do that. So he agrees. So widow queen then tells him that not to disclose to anyone that his father had come to this place. So she tells him that Christie would never disclose to anyone that his father came to that place. And he says that if his father reappears here, she will say that old man is a maniac and not Christie's father. And by chance his father appears again on that place, she will say that this old man is maniac, pagal hai, mad hai, and he is not in fact the father of Christie. So in this way, they makes a plan so that Christie can marry with Pezine. Very soon, then the girls come from the village and they ask Christie to go with them to the sport. That is, they have come. The girls of that village have come there. They are also attracted towards Christie. They also like Christie. So they want to play with Christie. So they say to Christie that come with them to the sports competition. Sports competition was also going to take place at that village. And then Christie gets ready because why? Because Pezine is also waiting for him there. Because Pezine is already there at the spot or at the competition place. So he agrees, yes, I will go there. And he also decides to play there. And we already know that all the girls, as well as Pezine was especially attracted towards him. But other girls of that village were also interested in Christie. They wanted to talk with him. They wanted to play with him. They wanted to enjoy with him. So in this way, we see that the play moves towards the complex, towards the climax. That is the appearance of his father. This is the important incident in this play. So Christie was in no hope of such thing, but it happened. And once we see that how Widow Queen is so mindful, so intelligent, that she makes the old Mahon to run away from that place, and how she tackles and handles old Mahon and tells and convinces him that that the young lad about whom he is talking, that is his son, is not at all his son, but he is someone else. And somehow she makes him run away to leave that place at once. She was interested in Christie and therefore she was doing everything. She also wanted to marry with him. So, this is what we have seen the story of Act Second in the Playboy of the Western world. In our next lecture, I hope we would be able to complete Act Second. So, till then, thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.